Final thoughts on traditional versus tactical. The highest level in the traditional configuration are the purists. The purists do not even believe in detachable magazines. They believe in internal fixed magazines or floor plate magazines. The purist is insistent that his scout rifle makes weight. It meets all the aspects of the late colonel's specifications. There are not and never have been any production scout rifle that meets the purist standards. All scout rifles in the purist configuration are custom builds. The purist does not believe in magazine capacity. The purist believes that Cooper's skill sets, not only in marksmanship, but in awareness, the ability to move swiftly, silently, and stealthily, and the ability to see without being seen, observe without being observed, precludes the need for magazine capacity. The late colonel himself was a big fan of the magazine cutoff. The standard mode of operation, in the colonel's eyes, was single shot, where the 4 or 5 round internal magazine was only cut in for contingencies. Ironically, the scout rifle, which was made to be one rifle to do it all, is not the only rifle most scout rifle owners have. It is but one rifle in their collection. What you now have is a second class of purist. The one whose purity is limited to his scout rifle or any of his other regular rifles. His scout rifle is his hunting rifle, his field rifle, his range toy, or just a rifle in his collection. If there's a bump in the night, this kind of purist has no qualms about answering that call with the semi-auto carbine, shotgun, lever-action rifle, or other weapon better suited to the task. The next level down in the traditional area can be described as the purist traditional. The purist traditional has all the features of the purist, but he has a detachable magazine. Now the purist, if he decides that he needs to reload rapidly, sees no problem with a stripper clip. But the purist traditional detachable magazine is well within his grasp, but the purist traditional still insists on no protruding magazine. Advantages of the purist and purist traditional is that, first off, you can carry the rifle at the balance. The action is open to be fed with stripper clips or to be loaded individually, topped off individually. The purist rifle does not snag on brush, and in a tactical situation, once the two-way rifle range gets hot, even the traditional prone is too high. The British came up with a modified prone position called the prone Hawkins position. Taking advantage of irregularities in the terrain, you get as low as possible using a flat hand support. The traditional configuration readily supports this. Tactical configuration, however, does not. One of my first books I studied was Chuck Taylor's book, The Fighting Rifle. Chuck Taylor had slightly different insights as to what we have today. Today, what we call the standing position, Chuck Taylor refers to as the offhand position. Chuck Taylor's vision of the standing position was a little more firmer support. Bone support, not muscle support. Bring the support arm all the way in, tightly up against the body, and rest the rifle on the support hand in this manner. In the traditional or purist configuration, that could be a problem. My arms are abnormally long, so I have no problem doing the Chuck Taylor standing position with a rifle that does not have a protruding magazine. For those whose arms are a little bit shorter, finger support would be the solution. But this is not quite as effective as resting in the palm of your hand. For those whose arms are a little bit shorter, the extended magazine can provide a little better support. In fact, Chuck Taylor does specify the magazine support for his standing position. It's rather ironic that we start here, bringing ourselves way in, and today, in our postmodern technique, we have what's called the C grip, where we extend our arm completely out. So we've gone from all the way in, halfway out, to all the way out. What this grip has for a scout rifle, yet to be determined. One theory could be that a modified C grip could better enhance the snapshot. Some time on the range will determine if this theory is true or not. So, what works best for you? That is for you to decide. If your scout rifle is not your only rifle, but one rifle in a collection, and you have semi-auto carbine or some other weapon better suited to meeting that bump in the night, the purist traditional configuration will serve you quite well. If it is your only rifle, then you need to master certain techniques and awareness standards the late Colonel calls for. Almost a lost art. Otherwise, if it is your only rifle, to have more options, the tactical or tactardish configuration probably serve you better. Hope you enjoyed watching. Like and subscribe.